I'm going to speak today on the topic of transgenderism. One of the reasons why is because from the book of Genesis chapter 3, Satan has been assaulting humanity's identity. He has said to our first parents, if you eat of the tree, meaning if you declare independence from God, you will be like God. Meaning you can transition from being a human to being divine. That was the first lie. And humanity believed that lie. Satan tempted Jesus and said, are you the Son of God? If you are the Son of God. Satan always launches an assault on your identity. Christianity is a faith that alters your identity. Because Christianity is the faith where we identify with Jesus Christ. That's why we're called Christians. When we are baptized, we are buried as Jesus was. When we come out of the water, we identify with His resurrection. There is over 70 references in the New Testament of in Christ, in Him, in Christ. We're the branch, He's the vine. That means that our identity is Jesus Christ. We were made in the image and likeness of God. The core of Christian faith is that He died for me, I died with Him. Say this with me, say He died for me. Come on, I can't hear you in the second section. Say He died for me and I died with Him. Paul says, Galatians chapter 2 verse 24, I've been crucified. See, my old life was crucified with Jesus Christ. That means my old identity, whatever that identity was crucified with Jesus, and in Christ I have new identity. He calls me with a new name. He gives me new heart. He gives me a new eternity because He gives me new identity. That's why we're born again with a new identity. That's what the whole Christian faith is. And the enemy, what he does is he creates a counterfeit. And in our culture we see that prevalent today. Confusion, doubt. When people don't know who they are anymore. When people don't know what love is anymore. We live in a culture today that says love is love. Imagine using the same logic for the water in your house. Water is water. And give your kid a straw to drink from toilet. It's water. No, that logic doesn't work with water. Yes, it's water, but everybody here knows, and you don't have to be and have a PhD in H2O to know there's a water from the sink, probably not a good idea to drink from it. There's a water from the fridge that has a filter, safe. There's a water that's bottled and has little electrolytes added, very safe. And then there's the water in the toilet. Now a dog will drink water from a toilet and he will think water is water, but you are not a dog unless you've been brainwashed by the culture to believe that you did come from monkeys and therefore you are. But my Bible makes me to understand you and I were made in the image of God. We have dignity, we have value. Every human being, whether they're blind, deaf, crippled, whether even if they are physically deformed or mentally not there, every human being has a value in the eyes of God. And God respects every human being's choice and commands us to respect every human being. We're not animals. We are made in the image of God. When God created us, He decided our gender. When you were in your mother's womb as an embryo, unfortunately God didn't send you a survey and says, what gender would you like? And I'm glad He didn't, because you wouldn't even know what those were. God chose that in His goodness. He chose you to be a male. He chose you to be a female. And maybe you grew up and you're like, I don't like it. You must understand, as a Christian, we deal with it simply. We submit to a good God, trust in His good plan, and our desires and our mental preferences, we submit to His word. This is not oppressive, because sometimes we don't even know what we like. Have you ever had moments in your life where you wanted something until you got it? Some of you have a husband like that. You got it, you're like, oops, I didn't know what I wanted. Mm-hmm.